Alrighty, welcome aboard everyone. Welcome to the world famous Universal Studios tour. We're about to take you out of the park and on to a real working studio lot for the next 45 minutes to an hour. We've got 400 acres of sets and sound stages to explore. They are busy today. We have active filming, so keep an eye out as you go. You never know who or what you might see. I can tell you, you are going to see a lot of me. Hi everyone, my name is JT. I'll be your guide as we take you down there onto the lot. We're going to head out in just a second. Those gates are coming down. Watch your arms and legs as they make their way down. If you have any smaller children whose feet don't quite touch the ground, make sure they're towards the center of the tram, not on the very edge. Things are good. Funky sometimes out there. And before we leave, we're going to make sure everyone's got 3D glasses. They look just like this. If you do not have 3D glasses, raise your hands up high now. This is your last chance to get them 3D glasses. Alright, sweet. Looks like we're good to go there, my friends. I think we've just about got the green light. We'll hit the road in a second, get you out there behind the scenes, as close to production as you can be. Let's wave goodbye to all the strangers on our left as we leave the park behind and head on to the lot and say hello to some very important folks helping us get there along the way. Most importantly, our driver Wyatt. Everyone say hi, Wyatt. That's right, Wyatt's going to get us around the lot at a fast and furious 5 to 10 miles per hour, depending on what we encounter back there. And then I'll have some help myself. I'm going to introduce my co-host, our master of ceremonies, host of The Tonight Show. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Welcome to the Universal Studios. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guy,
JT.
and the greatest guy,
Wyatt.
You're the best. I love that. Even though
JT.
both me $5.
All right, thank you so much.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety words.
That's right, guys. As we go, if you have an emergency, if you drop something off the tram, have sound or video issues, need any kind of assistance at any point, reach up, pull the red emergency cord above you, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to. Otherwise, throughout the entire tour, please stay seated, keep your arms and legs inside the tram, hold on to your valuables. The tour will feature sudden tram movements, fire effects, water effects, loud noises, just a heads up. No smoking of any kind, and for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on the tram. And with all that considered, we'll be smooth sailing. We're going to start heading down the Universal timeline here, this big hill. You see all these movie posters as we go down, taking us through the years. Let's go back to the very beginning. March 15th, 1915, that was the day our founder, Carl Laemmle, opens up the lot to the public for the first time ever, inviting the public in to see how movies are made. For 25 cents, that's what it would cost you to go on the property and walk around from set to set, watching them film silent movies right there in front of you. Now, the silent film era ends not long after this, about a decade or so. That ends and our walking tours end with it. It's not until July of 1964 we revive some kind of tour, rolling out our glamour trams, as we called it. They took passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the lot, and that has grown into what we're doing today. As well as you can see on your right, guys, we've fully grown into, as Carl dreamed us, of becoming the strangest city in the world. That was his dream. That's evidence on the right again that we fully achieved that. Our very own fire station back there. We have a sheriff's substation to go with it. And our own zip code. You are in Universal City, the only movie-making city of its kind in the entire world, and we are headed right into the heart of it. As we hit the bottom of the lot, we're going to cross on officially, hit the bottom of the hill, sorry, we'll officially cross onto the lot. We're going to see our front lot first. This is where most of our sound stages are, the first of which you're seeing on your left. Home to some of our most iconic sets, everything on screen. All done right there to your left is stage 12. Our oldest and largest sound stage. It was built in 1928. It's about 30,000 square feet. But it is just the first of many we'll see as we officially cross onto the front lot here to your left-hand side. You got real working stages right there, guys. Up close and personal, 7 through 11. 11 was just home to the HBO Max original Hacks, starring Jean Smart. She's won an Emmy all 3 seasons of the show. I just got nominated for season 4 again. Some of the doors are wide open today, guys. You can peek inside, see what it's like, literally looking behind the scenes at the sets. 9 and 10 right there was just home to Ted, season 2. They finished filming. That's coming out on Peacock soon. 7 and 8 right here. These were just home to Bel Air, our most streamed Peacock show, a spin-off of Fresh Prince of Bel Air. They just wrapped their 4th and final season, so their time on our lot's come to an end. Season 4 is going to be coming out on Peacock soon as well. They filmed pretty much in every part of our lot, all across it, even over here on top of that parking structure back there. You'll see they had a basketball court built up there. It wasn't the first time we used that parking structure in production either, on screen. The Lost World Jurassic Park. This scene with the lab dangling off the edge of a cliff. This was all done on the side of that parking structure. So we'll make use of every inch of the lot if need be. Our sound stages get the job done most of the time. Stage 14 right here, that's our second largest one. Home to the original Jurassic Park. They filmed several scenes here. Mount Crumpet from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's where the Grinch lived. We built inside there. Another Ron Howard film, Apollo 13. We built or recreated Mission Control inside Stage 14. Great example of why we need the sound stages sometimes. It's either recreating settings that would be hard to take a cast and crew to, or creating things from scratch sometimes. And we got plenty more here to your right. We've got 16 through 19, home to some of our biggest sitcoms over the years. The Jeffersons, Martin, Coach, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We just had a brand new show. It's called The Paper. They filmed in 18 and 19. It's a spinoff of The Office, from the creators of The Office. It premieres September 4th on Peacock. They filmed right here, guys, and these are now home to another brand new show. It's called The 5-Star Weekend. It stars Jennifer Garner. It's going to be coming to Peacock as well. She likes to ride her bike around the lot between filming, and they are filming today, so keep an eye out for Jennifer. If you see someone who looks like her on a bike, probably is. Now, right after Stage 19, we'll downsize a second here, guys, from the sound stages to our much smaller but very significant bungalows here on your left. Coming up, our good friend Ted is here to welcome all of you with toast. The bungalows were once upon a time home to stars like Marlon Brando, Jimmy Stewart, Doris Day. Way back when they were here filming, they would use these as dressing rooms. They are now home to some of the biggest production companies in the business. We've got Amy Pascal Pictures. She's behind all the Spider-Man movies. Death Row Pictures here, Snoop Dogg's production company. Illumination, the team behind the Minions. Mark Platt Productions is a little further down there, the team behind Wicked, one of our Oscar winners this year. Kevin Williamson's office here, he's the writer of Scream. And speaking of spooky things, a little further down, we'll drive right by Alfred Hitchcock's old office.
I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. I should be a fly at the museum.
Very exciting. Just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock is Hitchcock stalking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had bungalow on the lot. I went to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I love him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror. The birds. That was a really scary movie.
Birds!
And that's his bungalow right there to your left. Old bungalow, I should say. It's now home to the De Laurentiis Company, which has a long history with the horror genre as well. But right beyond those bungalows, guys, we're going to see a few more sound stages here that are busy. Turn the volume down for a second, guys. It's 25. You saw that red light on the side spinning and flashing. It's called a wigwag. If those are on, that means the cameras are rolling. And that's for St. Denis Medical. It's filming season 2 right now on those stages. The last two you're going to see for a bit as we leave the front lot and head on to the back lot here, guys. And we're going to kick off the back lot with a bang. Heading out to Skull Island, pay a visit to our old friend King Kong.
It's the original King Kong. I like films that just take you away from real life and sweep you up. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience. So you don't have to do glasses. Don't put them on yet. Just put them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, guys. The gates are opening as we speak. Make sure to stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the tram. King Kong 363. Oh, yes, okay. I don't know about you guys. I'm a little shook up in car one. Hey. 1 minute, car one, car 2, 3, 4. All skulls are intact. Thumbs up. You're alive. Yes.
We're alive.
Most of you they are car 4. Okay, good. That was some of the most advanced 3D technology in the industry. Brought to you by Weta FX. They are the team behind visuals in films like King Kong, The Lord of the Rings, HBO's The Last of Us, the new Alien Earth series with FX, the Avatar movies. They won their 7th Academy Award for those recently. The screen's 40 feet tall, 180 feet wide. Now you'll hear from Weta about how they did it.
Studios where the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming up, and they're seeing Kong from this side and the T-Rexes from the other side. Working on a movie, and we always know people are looking scared. Everything working on everything. Just any kind of people looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this live band news that we're working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving around to Skull Island. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We really created about 50 minutes of footage film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience. It's a hell of a ride.
Alrighty guys, we've escaped Skull Island. We're going to wind our way further into the backlot now. The backlot's going to be less sound stages and all our exterior sets, like the Metropolitan sets. You probably noticed as we left Skull Island, you saw there's several areas within them. The one you saw back there was New York Street. They're busy today. We've got productions working in there, so we're kind of driving around them right now. Just the first examples of these exterior sets we're going to see on the backlot as we go. Keep an eye out. Likely we run into more monsters for some reason. They're just popular back here on our lot at Universal. Might have something to do with these guys coming up on the right-hand side here, our classic Universal monsters. This mural was hand spray painted by artist Tristan Eaton. He spray painted the entire thing on his own in homage to our classic monsters. They're icons of the cinema that we will talk about a little bit later on the tour before we fully dive into them. A few other things we're going to see coming up on our left here, guys, are some of the few sound stages on the back lot, 30 through 33. The Voice films right here in stage 30. They are in production right now today for their next season coming up soon. We got a former voice coach back on the lot. Reba McIntyre's got a new sitcom. It's called Happy's Place. They're working on season 2 right now. They film right over there in stage 33, right behind this little body of water. You see that on your left, guys, in front of us here? That is what we call the Hollywood Ocean. It's got a long history on the lot, way before those stages existed. Back in 1954, when we turned that into the Black Lagoon. As in Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of our classic monster movies, turned 70 last year. And speaking of monsters and bodies of water, that has a lot to do with our next destination, my friends, as we turn on to Steven Spielberg Drive and head out to the setting of his first big hit back in 1975, the summer of 75. Meaning this movie just turned 50 years old, the first ever summer blockbuster. If none of this is ringing any bells for you, this might help you out. Doo-dum, doo-dum, doo-dum. 2 notes, that's all it takes. You probably know now we're talking about Jaws. I'm sure that's got all of you just dying to go to the beach, and you are in luck, friends, as we pull into town. Good news. Look there on your right, guys. They caught the shark. If you wanted to plan a little beach trip, baby, Amity could be your next stop. We'll check with George. He's out there doing one last sweep the water. Hey, wait, guys. Not sure the coast is clear, actually. There's George right now. We should probably... Come on, boys. Help me out. George! Professionally, he's really hard. Keep your arms and legs on every time. Stacy, because there is still a shark in the water. Seeing a lot of smiles for a shark attack, guys. I hope that means you all survived. Yes, with me back there. Limbs intact. Yeah. Close call. Sorry about that one. Guys, looks like they still need some time getting a handle on the shark problem. So we'll leave them to that. We'll say goodbye to Amity and our poor friend George. He rest in peace. We'll head down to our next destination, Old Mexico, where we will leave the sharks behind, maybe bring the water with us, so as we talk about how we could add water to a set if you want. Now, going into Old Mexico, let's say, it's a lovely day. We're going to change things up, though. Let's say the scene that you're filming needs weather elements. And you don't have to budget for visual effects. We got to use practical effects. Effects done on the set, right there in front of you. So you want to have thunder and lightning, we can use strobe lights, speakers. Play strategically around, strike that up. Let's say you want to add rain into the mix. What we do there, essentially, is raise a sprinkler system high above set. From there, you flip the on switch, and there you go. Movie making magic. If you got a sprinkler at home, you got a movie waiting to be made. Now, rain by itself might make a scene feel sad or romantic, but throw in all those thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. Suddenly, the tone shifts, and things have become ominous. Maybe there's something dangerous coming. Maybe it's coming just around the corner. Watch out back there, guys! Looks like God in the blood. He might be in the If it seemed like I knew that was coming, guys, I promise I did. That was the Flash Flood, the very first attraction ever added on the tour in 1968. You might have seen that in the music video for Lady Gaga's song Judas, or the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. And there you have the Flash Flood. Much more joy from the safety of the tram. Although on a day like today, it has a certain kind of appeal, I have to admit. We're going to get out of Old Mexico and cross over now to the Old West. Welcome to 6 Points, home of some of the most classic westerns and western stars. John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford, all mosey down these streets. Not as long ago, stars like Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, they were here for Quentin Tarantino's 9th feature film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They filmed several scenes in here and won several Oscars for the movie, including Best Production Design. That's one of the Oscars we won this year for Wicked. And production design, that's the overall look of a production. One specific part of their production design is the art direction. This is something you can really see evident on the tour. Art directions, the sets themselves, how we bring them to life. The scenery, how we give it character. So with this specific aesthetic of the Old West, it's the curtains and the windows, the colors you're using, the font of the signs, the materials, all that brick and stone. None of that's really brick or stone. It's made of mostly plaster, plywood, and plastics. The 3 Ps, as we'll say. That makes it easier to adapt them from production to production in a way that would be hard to do out in the real world. So a testament to why we have a studio lot in the first place. But the art direction, again, the sets themselves, how we give them character, the props you bring into place to bring the set to life. Something we'll keep talking about a lot as we see more of these sets. We're coming out of old 6 Points, sorry, as we turn back down this road, passing by the Hollywood Ocean again, aka the Black Lagoon. That is a better indicator of where we're headed next, which is monster territory, guys, as we make our way out to monster territory. We are also about halfway through the tour, so it is a good time to remind you, if you have an emergency, drop something off the tram, can't wait to use the restroom, or need any assistance at any point, reach out, pull that red emergency cord above you, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to. Otherwise, please remember to stay seated at all times, especially as we make our way right into the heart of monster territory, what we call Little Europe. Light your torches and go, just like all those angry villagers. Here we go, friends, right through the streets of Little Europe. This is the birthplace of the monster movie films like Frankenstein, The Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Wolfman. They were all filmed right here. It's a huge part of our legacy, our history as a studio. It is also very colorful in real life, though. As you look around, you see, that also makes Little Europe a really good place to be the good place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead. This location, the afterlife, come on. I have never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Right here on the screen, the yogurt shop. This is right here in real life. The shop on the corner with the red and blue doors and windows. Driving right by it. Great example again of art direction. You see it as a blank slate in real life versus on screen, how they bring it to life with all the props and the details that they add.
Going to the bad place? place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
No, it doesn't, Kristen. What does sound awesome, though, guys, is the Court of Miracles on your right-hand side coming up. This little area, Little Europe here, has been featured in films like Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman to take it back to our monsters, and more recently with the monsters, Ariana Grande. She released a short film for the deluxe version of her album, and in it they do a nod to Frankenstein. They're bringing the monster to life, that whole sequence, and they did it right here in Little Europe, where the original Frankenstein films. Cool little full circle moment there. Our monster is still very much a part of the cultural zeitgeist, who we are as a studio. We had a new Wolfman movie come out this year. We had Nosferatu last year, which went on to become one of our Oscar-nominated movies. That's essentially the Dracula story. You might run into some of them in the park today, so you gotta keep an eye out for those guys. They like to roam. But we are making our way out of Little Europe. We are escaping the monsters for a minute. We'll leave them behind. They did keep our studio in business back in the 30s and 40s, so just make sure I give them credit where credit's due. But now, guys, we're pulling up to stage 50, and this is what we would call a hot set. Has nothing to do with the temperature, although that is true as well today. It means it's fully dressed and ready for filming. All that art direction stuff is in place and ready to go. So I'll put a word into production, see if they might let us go inside and see it all. On screen, though, are some of our best, most elaborate examples of art direction over the years. Again, those details we talked about, bringing the sets to life, the architecture, the colors, all the props. These things help establish location, time period, the tone of a scene, or just the genre itself, perhaps. It's one of our best picture winners there, Shakespeare in Love, one of 11. Oppenheimer became our 11th best picture winner last year. And guys, we got the thumbs up from production, so they're opening up the elephant doors, as we call those large sliding doors on the soundstage. We're going inside. I want you to look around. Think about all those art direction details we've talked about. Try to use those and figure out what's the location of the scene they're filming in here. What's the time period? What's the tone of the scene? As you think of all that, remember to stay seated, keep your arms and legs inside the train in theory on a hot set. They can start rolling at any point, but we'll just take a quick look, get out of the way. You see everything is ready to go, though. Director just has to call action, and then they will. Whoops, hot set 101. Don't say no action unless you mean it, guys. Hold on tight. That was inspired by the 1974 disaster film Earthquake. It wasn't long after the earthquake, Universal was planning to follow follow it up with an even more terrifying movie that we've already talked about, Jaws. Jaws was originally planned for a Christmas of '74 release. Hard to think of Jaws as a Christmas movie before it gets delayed to the next summer, but we are heading by Amity Island again here actually one time. I'm going to let Spielberg himself tell you a little more about Jaws and how it made its way to the lot.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into this greater circle of tremendous designers at Universal who were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the trap. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
Alrighty, guys. We're going to squeeze past shark territory one last time. We'll trickle down the food chain a bit here and talk about some smaller yet equally terrifying creatures. Chickens. On your right, the Chicken Ranch. Go back in 1982 for the best little whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds, one of our largest practical sets. In terms of our sets, practical means you can film on the inside and the outside, as opposed to a facade. A facade's just the front and two sides of the building. We'd only use those for an exterior shot. But here on Colonial Street, guys, you're going to see all large practical or semi-practical sets. This is a recreation of a suburban neighborhood seen recently in Ted's house right here on the screen. Now coming up on your right-hand side, in real life, it's been painted white right there. Same house, though.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see. We got 20 cartons.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Oh, come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
Ted's house was just recently painted white for a production that was in here for several months recently, a brand new show called The Burbs. It stars Keke Palmer. It's coming to Peacock soon. It's a spin-off, sort of, inspired by, more so, the movie The Burbs with Tom Hanks, which filmed right here on Colonial Street many decades ago. A little bit of it there. Along with some other highlights of Colonial, we've had music videos for Nelly and Kelly Rowland, and perhaps our biggest production on Colonial, ABC's The Desperate Housewives. This was Wisteria Lane. Several decades before it was Wisteria Lane, it was Mockingbird Lane, guys, back in the 60s for the Munsters, the original Munsters house. Coming up down here on our right-hand side, the pinkish purple one right there. A lot of history with the horror genre, of course, all across a lot, right here on Colonial especially. Along with the Monsters, we've had an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer film here, A Nightmare on Elm Street 6. We, of course, long history again with that genre. It's probably been one of, if not our most successful genre at the box office, most consistently at least, and we are approaching Halloween Horror Nights starting next week, so spooky season is almost officially in full swing, although it's almost always spooky season on our lot, as you have probably been able to tell so far. But as we come out of Colonial, we're heading back up the last stretch of Steven Spielberg Drive, longest road on our lot. As we head up it, I'm going to throw it back to Steven here. He's going to tell you a little bit about how his journey with Universal all began.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. When everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left. And then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on location, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, and had the most amazing day of my life.
So if you're wondering why there are no bathroom breaks on the tour, you can take that up with Steven Spielberg. But as we turn off his road here, speaking of the lot back in the 60s, that's one of the original glamour trams from 1964, pulled from the archives to celebrate our 60th anniversary last summer. Now here among some of our most famous picture cars. That's what we call any vehicle that shows up on screen, whether it's a car or not. Let's say you've been driving one of those picture cars all night long down the highway and you're tired, you need somewhere to pull over, get a good night's sleep. Perhaps you could do that right here at the Bates Motel. The iconic, the infamous motel from Hitchcock's classic 1960s Psycho. Getting a little facelift right now for Halloween Horror Nights. That kicks off next Thursday, my friends. Runs all the way until November 2nd. Our busiest event of the year. Now from screen to real life, guys, the original Psycho House. Coming up on your left, this is where Mother lives. She's... Oh, her son's home too, guys. Norman Bates, everybody, just wave and smile. Nice, big, friendly smiles to Norman. I promise he's a nice guy. Usually just go, hey, nice, I meant, oh, God, no. Hey, Norman, don't need to do the whole knife thing again or come down the steps. Watch out back there, carpet floor. Okay, veering off the beaten psychopath, guys. Out of Hitchcock territory, back to, guess who? Spielberg, that's right, here we are, right in the heart of one of the sets from his 2005 sci-fi epic, War of the Worlds.
Is cover design of set that is all designed around the vision of Steve. You forget to sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Close your eyes, okay? Yeah, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
This is one of the largest sets ever built at that time, largely due to the sheer size of the plane. That's a real 747 that Spielberg and team bought from an airplane graveyard just north of here. They bought it for about $60,000. Pretty good deal if you're in the marketplace for an airplane. Did cost them about $200,000 just having it delivered to the lot, though. It's always the shipping fees. That's how I get you. But we're going to go from a veteran like Spielberg to a more recent filmmaker to call Universal home, guys, as we head out to just about our last stop on the tour. This is Jupiter's Claim, one of the sets from Oscar winner Jordan Peele's latest feature film, Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky G. Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. I'm looking so live. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, lies a sinister secret. Smack dab in the center of Hollywood. Welcome to the world of no.
Sorry guys, our tram got stuck there for a second. I don't know if it was the UFO activity or not. We're not going to stick around to find out, though. It sounds like things are getting kind of strange in Jupiter's Claim. Emphasis on sounds like Jupiter's Claim. In the movie Nope, that's a great example of sound design, how important sound is in production. Really, ever since the silent film era ended, if you think of anything without the sound effects or the music, Jaws without that score is just not quite the same. Another one of those really important moving pieces that all have to come together at the end of the day to make that final mature product that you see on screen at the theater or at home. And that is really what the tour is all about, taking you behind the scenes, not just to see the sets and the sound stages, as cool as that is on its own, but to also get some insight into how all of it works, everything that goes into making it all happen, all the people and the departments. If you ever stick around for the credits of a movie, you know they can go on for quite a while sometimes, and that's because it does truly take, as they say, a village, and that was our little village that you just saw. Not so little in reality. 400 acres, the largest studio lot in Los Angeles, the oldest, one of the busiest in the world as well, with no plans of slowing down anytime soon. The studio tour, guys, is really a tradition that goes back all the way to 1915. We did it a little bit differently, of course, back then, but a tradition 110 years in the making that is still alive today because of all of you still coming to take the tour. So we thank each and every single one of you on the tram today. A special shout out to the annual pass holders on board. If you're with us, we're always grateful to see you guys time and time again. We are going to get you back to the park, though, now. Our last few stops there get kind of strange, so it might be best we get you back on with the rest of your day. We're open until 7 o'clock tonight. We have some time to go back out there, have more fun in the park. One last look at the lot there on your right-hand side below you, all 400 acres of it. You'll see our neighbors out there, Warner Brothers, Disney, and ABC behind them. The entire San Fernando Valley there, a lot of entertainment history that you are all now a part of. A part of it, at least for us here at Universal, and you're in some good company as well.
I've been on that tour so many times since I was a kid. I just wanted to be done.
The first time I ever went on the Universal lot, we did the tour.
I grew up in Los Angeles, and that was like the place to go and see Jaws.
I got my introduction to Universal Studios through the tour, so then to be in the movies and seeing the trams drive by, it's very overwhelming.
One of the coolest things actually about shooting for Universal is sometimes you get to shoot on the lot and you look over and it's like there's Jaws, or like there's the flash flood and all those trams are riding around. It's the coolest thing ever.
1979. Back then, tram drivers were kind of a little reckless, a little crazy. There was no restriction on cars going anywhere. We used to drive all over and kind of duel with them back and forth.
I have so many amazing memories of the lot when we were shooting Back to the Future.
Being here brings me back in time, I'll tell you that. The tram would come through, the tourists would see Michael J. Fox, and they're taking their camera, snap, snap, snap. So one day, Michael J. Fox had his own camera, and every time the tourists came through snapping their pictures, he ran out and he started taking pictures of them.
Some 40 years ago, probably 41, when they were filming, we just celebrated the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future, along with the 50th of Jaws this summer. Been a big summer for us. Got a big fall coming up. Wicked for Good. That's part 2 of Wicked coming out in November, so a lot to look forward to as well. We're excited to have you guys here again today, spending time with us at the studio tour where it all began, right down there. 400 acres again of property. Before the lot ever existed, this was all a chicken farm. Back when the lot first was opened up to the public, it cost 25 cents to come on property. You could pay an extra 5 cents for a boxed chicken lunch. They were testing out whether the lot or the chicken farm was going to be more profitable. Thankfully for us, and I'm sure chickens would agree that the lot worked out and that was better for everyone. And we're still here 110 years later. And that's really because of all of you going to the movies and coming here to the park, taking the tour. Again, we thank all of you. We got one last turn to make, though. We'll be back at the park. So just stay seated until we come to a full stop in the unload area, and then the gates are lifted. Then you are free to go. Before we part ways, guys, I want to give a big thanks to our driver, Wyatt, here. How about we give it up for Wyatt? A round of applause for Wyatt. Make some noise for Wyatt. Because without him, we would have had to walk all 400 acres. I don't think we would have enjoyed that today, especially, or done it at all. So very grateful for Wyatt, all the drivers, and all of you again here, guys. We are making that last turn. So as they say in the business, that is a wrap for us at the studio tour. JT, sign off. If I don't see you again here, I'll see you in the movies. Thanks again, everybody. Have fun out there. Enjoy the rest of the day. Stay safe. And roll the credits.